thing that we're doing now is to build the membership. So we've got thousands and thousands of leaflets. So it's really to build the membership, get a really large membership of older people all across Suffolk, so that we can then hold an election and make sure we've got elected members of the council who come from all the different district and borough council areas of Suffolk, so it can be truly representative.
Today is the United Nations International Day of Older People. So I think it's very fitting that we gather here to launch some things, to renew some things, and to look at some things. In Suffolk, there are about 720,000 people. Today, 67,000 of us are aged over the age of 75. By 2030, on a relatively static population figure, there will be 127,000 of us aged over the age of 75. So an incredibly important part of the work that takes place here in this building is about how we engage and work with older people so that they have rich, fulfilling lives, and if they need care, have the dignity that they so richly deserve.
I think one of the great things about the launch of this Older People's Council is the opportunity it will give for older people to really be able to come to the County Council with their views collectively. Clearly they're going to be a growing part of the population, and it's so important that their voice is recognised, and we welcome the opportunity to work very closely with that forum.
We're absolutely delighted that this Older People's Council is being launched today. We know that older people are a really vital part of the community in Suffolk, so it's great that they're organising themselves to be really effective. And also for Suffolk County Council, we provide lots of services which help older people to be independent and live fulfilling lives. So we need to be able to find a way of talking to representative older people so we know what older people need and how we can best help them.
By older people, if you like, getting involved in planning and collecting information and researching information, that gives them a direct link to those who are practitioners and decision makers. And it is their voices and it's their issues that can be taken direct to those who make the decisions. And so, you know, these are decision makers where, if you like, older people have been typically absent. And it's time that older people had a say in decisions that affect them.
Well, Age UK Suffolk has always felt that ensuring that the voices of older people are heard was very, very important. And we've done a lot of work with, we have a panel that we consult regularly on issues and feed back to social services, health and other bodies. And we have focus meetings when we talk to people and listen to what they have to say about current issues.
My interest is to make sure that we have a regular and informative contact and a regular dialogue between the two organisations, Ethnic Minorities in Suffolk and Old People's Council in Suffolk.
I think what you get to do is raise the issues that affect older people. We all read about care and we all read about people wanting to live in their own homes for longer, but quite often it's a very silent voice or a very quiet voice or a very timid voice. And I think what you can do as a council is speak with volume to us here about what we do. And I think that's an incredibly important part of your focus. I think also you must hold us to account. You must tell us when we're doing things right and tell us when we're doing things wrong. And I think that's where the Charter comes into play. And when you actually pick the Charter up and read through it, there's two or three things that really struck me on communication and information. Have effective processes to enable their views to be heard on all issues that impact on their lives. And I think that is where that voice really comes in.
I think it's an incredibly important development for Suffolk, one of the first in the country, and I think it gives older people a real voice, collective voice, so that we can debate and discuss the issues with the council to help people and help older people in Suffolk as we form the services which are so vital for them.
I've worked with older people and their families all my career. I've found since I've become an older person myself, and I'm also a carer of a 90-year-old father, that
The circumstances are very different when you are one of the people who are needing this elderly care as opposed to how I was in hopefully providing orphan care.
How the SOPC will be able to help us is that they'll raise awareness of older people's issues. They might be able to do recruiting for us, people who might like to join the voice panel. And most important probably for us is they can help us monitor the recommendations.
So what we want to do today is to ask you all to commit again to the Charter. It looks a bit different now, a bit prettier, but in actual fact when the Older People's Council looked at this Charter, the rights that they believe older people want are still exactly the same, so those words haven't changed. The responsibilities that all organisations should accept and take on and deliver are all exactly the same. The things that we want everyone to strive together to promote are all exactly the same. So nothing has changed about this Charter except to just smarten it up a bit, if you like. And as I said, with the NHS to probably change most of your names of your organisations. So we do hope that, we know that a number of people have very generously given their time to come and join us here today. And those who haven't, we will be chasing over the next few months. We will take the Charter with us and knock on their doors and say, please, would you like to sign up again to this and commit yourself to the Charter for Older People?
Transport is obviously the worst problem that we've got. Plus the fact that people in the far-flung places, I mean I live on the northern frontier, nearly in Norfolk.
There are more older people today than ever before, and we're all living for a very much longer time too. So in the decades to come, there will be people in their 90s and 100s who will need the support and care of a wider community than their own family. So we are giving, by forming the council, we are giving older people a voice, and we hope to use that voice in a constructive way. A very famous speech began with the words, "I have a dream." Today's launch is no dream, it's a reality. The older people of Suffolk have found a collective voice.